Higgsfield just released Cinema Studio 4.0, and while there are some major improvements thanks to Seedance 2.5, there are also some massive things that straight up don't work and will waste your credits. I tested every element of Cinema Studio 4, from images to videos to camera settings, to see if this feature is worth it for you. Higgsfield is sponsoring this video because they want feedback on the tool, but just like all of my reviews, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm going to show you exactly where it breaks. If you appreciate that, comment reel down below so that sponsors know that you appreciate unbiased reviews like this. Okay, so what is Cinema Studio? Cinema Studio 4.0 is simply a wrapper UI built around Seedance 2.5, which is the best video generator in the world. It has all the abilities of Seedance with up to 50 input references, 30-second generations, and 1080p resolution, and it costs exactly the same amount of credits as just generating Seedance 2.5 in Higgsfield's regular video generation page. The difference lies in camera style settings, film genres, and lighting presets, which promise to give you more control over the final look of your film. And if Higgsfield generated their incredibly impressive original content with Cinema Studio, these features must make a big difference, right? Well, I don't know about that. Let's create a new Cinema Studio project and start with image generation. Does Cinema Studio actually help here? I want to create a scene that takes place in the Greek city of Aya. It's this iconic white coastal town. I always use Claude to optimize my prompts, so I'll just copy this and paste it in the image generation prompt box. Now we'll test Higgsfield's own cinematic locations model with 3 generations at 4K. I'll also run the same prompt through Nano Banana Pro, which is my current favorite model for cinematic images. Let's take a look at the results that the cinematic locations model gave us. You can kind of see perfectly in this example how Higgsfield's model likes to generate location references. This is simple and it's accurate to my prompt, but the model gave it like a vibe. It's sort of a cinematic greenish color grade and a very soft film-like look. If you zoom in, it doesn't even really look like 4K because of how soft that filter is over it. The other 2 results are very similar, just with different color grades. Nano Banana Pro, on the other hand, gave us images that are much sharper and more detailed with more advanced light rendering. Just look at how the sunlight is shown to bounce off of these windows here and then land on the wall across the street. Both of these image styles are valid just depending on your own personal preference for the thing that you're creating, but personally, I like Nano Banana Pro a lot more. And really, when it comes to generating locations, there's no difference between Cinema Studio and Higgsfield's typical image gen workflow. Where things get more interesting is character generation. This is where we can use Higgsfield's Soul Cast model, which I've had some issues with in the past, but let's see if it's improved at all over the past couple months. I'll click through the fancy menu that they've got here, first selecting my movie genre as adventure. I want this guy to be a hero, male, black, about 30 years old, muscular, average height with brown eyes, and we'll put him in a green linen shirt and sunglasses. We don't need any other prompt text down here, so once that's gone, I'll just hit generate. Now for comparison, I've grabbed a prompt from Claude that describes a similar guy, and we'll run this through Nano Banana Pro. Okay, our results from Soulcast are in, and they're pretty much the same as I remember from my previous tests. This guy looks okay, but the other 2 results are very oddly proportioned. Nano Banana Pro gave us a much more real looking person, so this is the one that I'm going to choose as our hero going forward. Funnily enough, in creating the assets for their own films, Higgsfield's own team uses Nano Banana Pro as well. It's just the best model out there right now. The final step for image generation, if you care to do it, is reference or start frame generation. I say if you care to do it because really nowadays the best video generation workflows just revolve around using character prompts like character references and location references. But for this video, we're still going to create a start frame because there's an important feature to test out here for Cinema Studio. When making movies, cinematographers choose from all sorts of different cameras, lenses, and settings on those cameras and lenses to get the look that they're going for. You can do the same thing with Cinema Studio when you select their cinematic cameras model. There's all sorts of camera, lens, focal length, and aperture options here, all inspired by real-world equipment. If you've seen my reviews of previous versions of Cinema Studio, this will look very familiar. These things are unchanged, and they still produce pretty dang good results most of the time. For example, I generated this image at 50mm with the swirl bokeh lens, and you can see the swirl applied right to the edges here. The only problem with this image overall is the lighting. When you look at the houses on the left, the sun appears to be shining from the right, but our subject also has a light source on him, which is clearly coming from the left. This isn't Tatooine. We only have one sun, so this is impossible. When I generated in Nano Banana Pro without any camera style settings, the image came out looking a lot more plain, but directionally the lighting is consistent. I would say that this is a big deal, but realistically getting reference images with camera styles baked in really only matters in one scenario. Let's flip it over to video. I'm gonna reference that nice swirl bokeh shot as the start frame and animate it. In this single shot, the camera characteristics hold strong the entire time. We never lose that bokeh. However, watch what happens when I create a longer multi-shot generation of the same scene. The second that we cut away from that start frame, we lose the camera and lens style applied to the image entirely. The rest of the generation looks fine, but the moral of the story is unless you want to use single shot generations for your entire film, you're gonna have a lot of visual inconsistencies if you try to use baked in camera profiles like this. Okay, but what if we could apply camera styles directly to videos instead of relying on the images? That's a good idea, and Higgsfield implemented a feature for that, but first let's check out the film setup styles. I want to create a motorcycle chase scene using our character in the same city as our references. So what better time to test out Higgsfield's AI director feature than to ask it to give me a prompt for this scene. I'll drag my assets in here and we'll give it a go. Well, that didn't work. Maybe the issue is my assets. What if I download them and then just attach them separately? Weird, it's not letting me at all. Maybe they're too big? Okay, maybe the director doesn't even need the assets. Let's just see if it can do it on its own. Oh, so it just doesn't work. Okay, well, back to Claude. Here's what Claude's prompt looks like when generated with just pure raw Seedance 2.5. Not bad. I mean, it's not the best or most exhilarating chase scene I've ever seen, but it's totally fine for our purposes. Now to test Cinema Studio's style features, I'm gonna leave the prompt exactly as it is, except I'll remove this style section of it. Now I'll pop open the film setup menu. Here I'm gonna select noir as our genre, 1960s as our era, and chaotic as our tempo. If these settings don't give us a clearly different generation, I don't know what will. All right, so that did absolutely nothing. What about those camera styles though? Those did work well in the image generation, so maybe they carry over to video too. Now the weird thing is this section in video is actually way more limited than it was in photo. There's only 4 cameras, 5 lenses, and no focal length control. Once again, I want to pick a style that's super visually obvious to see if the model gets it right. So I'm gonna go with 8mm film, vintage halation, and 1.4 aperture. I'm also gonna reuse our walking prompt from earlier because this should be a little bit slower and easier to tell, and we'll remove the style section from this, of course, as well. Here's what it gave us. Well, you're not crazy. This didn't do anything to the footage either. Let me try again with modern anamorphic, but this time I'm gonna give it a cool bluish color palette instruction as well. Nope, no anamorphic attributes here whatsoever, and no bluish color grade either. So far, it's really not looking good for Cinema Studio styles, but there is one more thing to check, which is lighting. I grabbed one more prompt from Claude to show our character on a yacht. Didn't include any lighting instructions in the prompt at all, but I selected silhouette from the style menu to see if it would stick. Okay, well, Cinema Studio is 0 for 4 on actually applying styles to the footage, which is a shame. I generated the same prompt, but this time included silhouette backlighting in the actual text prompt, and it was able to do it just fine. So I guess the question at this point is, why even use Cinema Studio? The answer, in my opinion, actually lies in the stuff that they don't even really advertise. Cinema Studio is much more powerful now in collaborative organization and as a workspace. You can add project information in the brief page, organize assets by folder, create a visual canvas and node workflow alongside your assets, share the project with others at varying access levels, and even chat with those collaborators on Higgsfield while you're working. Rather than being the video model enhancer that Cinema Studio used to be, Cinema Studio has kind of morphed into like a professional studio workspace. And I think I actually like that more. If this seems cool to you, definitely check out Higgsfield down below. And if you want to see more of what Seedance 2.5 can do in all of its video generation prowess, check out this video right up over here. It's pretty impressive.